Hey Ren, so I guess I'll just quickly introduce to you how we use OneNote at the moment, and I guess what we'll look into is how do we actually integrate this into Schoolbox, actually I guess make it all-in-one package with it. So first off is basically at the moment right now we have all of our students. They have OneNote in terms of goal setting with it. So what they have is basically we align it with all of the Victorian curriculum standards. So all the way from this is a year 9 student that has all the standards from year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And basically at the moment, basically we have the students go and highlight what goals that they have for themselves and I guess where they place themselves onto a continuum. So for each of the standards for the numeracy standards, basically they can go and highlight to go and say that whether they're novice, competent, or expert, and then kind of just tick where they are with it. So then what we do further with that piece is that we then have an individual continuum which highlights all the goals and all the standards from year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, and then also you've got the 10A standards along with that. So what we also have done too is I've built Alameda Maths. So if I click on that, basically each standard links towards a page which has basically all of my teaching notes, worked examples, and kind of I guess attached YouTube videos to actually help the students understand that topic with it. So from there too is what we also have too is that students also upload evidence that they've completed that task. So whether it be kind of textbook questions or I guess worked examples of what they've actually done to go and prove that. So if I show you an example of a year 8 student, so if they go into their angles continuum, what ends up happening is they've got the year 5 standards there, which once again they click into Alameda Maths as a resource for them to practice or to I guess learn the standard. They have practice questions that they can go and do. So we've got textbook questions from a novice, from competent to an expert level. And then on top of that too, I guess students upload evidence there to I guess demonstrate their understanding of that piece. Once again too, they have a measurement geometry, Victorian curriculum standards too, and that's just the Victorian curriculum map with it. So I guess ideally what we're trying to actually go and achieve with Schoolbox is to have this whole OneNote system embedded into Schoolbox, where what students can actually do is they can click on these standards, which then pops up that they can actually upload the evidence into this, which is stored onto Schoolbox as a student portfolio piece, as opposed to having to go and go into all the different units where they're uploading work onto the OneNote to go through. So ideally what ends up happening is the way that we've structured it is that we've got all the students in different year levels. So we've got all of the year 8 students all into one math class of that, and every student has the angles continuum from previous years, and then this file goes up to each of the teachers year on year. So that's basically ideally what we're trying to go and look for, is that how do we actually integrate Schoolbox, I guess with the e-portfolio piece, where students can easily just go and click on their Victorian curriculum standards, where they can click that and they have evidence built up all the way from prep all the way towards when they leave us at year 9. So for them to have a portfolio piece to travel all the way up with them through different years, and that teachers can actually access that too, so that way they know that whatever goals students are working on, that's their teaching point and that's differentiated point of need. So let me know if that works. I guess we can kind of work together and see how do we actually make that happen or make it into fruition.